Hello and welcome. So I believe last week we found one of the king's guards just before he died, and he told us, "Oh, you need to go back to the battlefield at Ostgard to grab a few things." And then I went to Lake Calenhad, where we were attacked by some cultists, and then I did a bunch of stuff in the Mage's Tower, while rambling about magic and history. Well, and more the fantasy genre and its obsession with the Middle Ages and being technologically stagnant. But I know I had previously said that we were going to go off to Orzammar after this, but I did go to Orzammar and discovered that I can't actually do the things that I want to be able to do there. So instead of that, we are going to, let's see, I believe there's part of a merchant, something interesting that we're going to go investigate, and probably also visit Ostkar and possibly take care of Flemeth, Morgan's adoptive mother. I suppose it might not be adoptive, or just unknown whether or not she's actually Morgan's mother. And we're off. Let's see. Now, who do I want along?
Yes. Horseful, indeed.
Yes.
Okay. Slitcher's Pass. An interruption. Interesting. Well then. Let's see what this is.
Ah, a fellow traveler of the fair lands. Are you a seeker, perchance? My packs are light, but I have a tome of strange origin. The Deus V Eternus, rumored to be the last message to a sinful world from the Maker himself.
A seeker. I'm not sure I can consider you a seeker of truth. Did you sell a few copies to the Circle Tower?
I have no idea what you're talking about, and neither do these large men carrying swords. Get them! Roar!
Hey, Jory. Silence that mage. Sorry if I keep clearing my throat. I'm getting over being sick.
We will need a fight.
Now we got a hand. Physical. Good day.
Damn. Jory's effective. We didn't even go up there, and there were at least 2 enemies there.
Of course.
I'm not actually sure how many,
As you say.
how common this would be, given as I've mentioned before, books were relatively expensive and difficult to make, and the market for them would be small. But and that being said, you remember also hearing about the story of a man who's trying to buy a unicorn horn. And he gets some quote-unquote unicorn horn. He's like, but he didn't have the properties it was supposed to have, so we have a record of the letter he sent to, I'm not sure if it's like his friend who knew a supplier or the supplier himself. It's more like that his, it's like, okay, I don't think this was actually unicorn horn that I got. That I thought it was not, oh, this guy's a total fraud. There's no, and like, there's no such thing as unicorn horn, or he's just selling fake unicorn horn when the actual stuff exists. So it was, this guy's holding out on me. He has a unicorn horn. He's just selling me the bad stuff. So, I mean, it's possible that they might think, yeah, this stuff actually exists, but it's just really difficult to get your hands on. In any case. Hello, Felix.
You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit nervous. Not many people travelling in this part of Ferelden. Of course, that's part of my problem, isn't it? Mule got spooked by a wisp and ran off into the woods. Now what do I do?
Are you asking me to find your mule?
Oh, no, I sent the elf to do that. I wouldn't dream of asking a stranger to do it. Allow me to introduce myself. Felix de Grosbois, merchant and entrepreneur at your service.
Okay, Mr. Grossboy. I'm Duran. Pleased to meet you.
I don't normally take this route, but with the war, I was hoping for a bit of luck and good weather in the mountains. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh, this trip has been one miserable disaster after another. I don't suppose you consider helping a fellow out?
No, of course not. I have a history of never helping people. Help the fellow out how?
Of all the other things that went wrong, the worst is this artifact I brought in Jada. It's a control rod, I'm told, for a golem. No point in me keeping it, however, as I'll never get to use it. But, maybe you could?
Maybe I could, because I'm a dwarf, and we're the ones who originally made them? Assuming a little bit, but... if I'm needing to go back to Orzammar, being able to bring back a golem control rod, that's a artifact from our history, might be a good way of getting there. Even better if I could potentially bring back a whole golem. What does a control rod do? I should know that. So I'll just ask this for the purpose of seeing what they say.
The dwarf I brought it from said it activates and controls a golem. So long as you have it in your hand, the golem does what you say. Might be useful, no? I mean, you look like the sort who could use one, yes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this dialogue doesn't change no matter what race you are. But that does sound a little bit stereotyping me. How do I know this will even work?
The fellow I brought it from is a long-standing contact. He didn't want to come to Ferelden, however, with all our troubles. He said he got it from the man who owned this golem. But to be honest, I have no idea if it will work. Hence the low price. What do you say?
I haven't even asked how much it is. What's the catch?
The catch? Yeah, I suppose it is a catch, isn't it? The catch is that the golem didn't come with the rod. It's supposed to be down in a village down south, waiting to be activated. Even if I could get down there, which I can't, I understand the place has been overrun by darkspawn. That's not such an issue for adventurous types like yourself, surely? Or I'm hoping that's so, at least.
How much do you want for it?
Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around something that might be taken for a gemstone by some bandit. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful to you. I paid too much to simply throw it away.
Oh, that's... that's a deal. Yes, I think I could use it.
Just as well. As I mentioned before, you'll find the golem down south, in a town called Honleith. I'll mark it here on your map. Just hold up the rod and say Dulaf Gar. That will wake the golem up, so I'm told. I hope it works.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it would depend on for whom the golem was originally made. If it was originally made for the dwarves, that's probably dwarvish. If... I know there were some golems that were supposed to be made for the Tvinters, so at which point their control phrase would probably be in Old Tavine. Don't think I heard anything about golems being created for anyone else. And if it doesn't...
Maybe you could look up the fellow who owned the golem before. If he's still about, that is. Best of luck to you then. Now, I guess it's up to me to find that mule myself.
Okay.
As you say.
I think I'm going to go back to camp, because if I'm going to be facing off against Darkspawn, this isn't the party I want to have. And just kind of one unfortunate thing about these games is that there is, like, just ambient dialogue that can happen depending on, like, what characters you have in your party. The problem is it's difficult to encounter them all in one playthrough because there tends to be, like, certain characters that you just keep having along with you. And certain parties are just highly imbalanced. It's like, I've noticed I tend to like having a mage with me for healing thing, so that ends up limiting the number of people I can have. So, particularly given as if you're two mages, can be a little bit redundant, but they have dialogue stuff they can actually talk about. So, kind of unfortunate. Anyway, so basically, against Darkspawn.
Yes.
Alistair.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Unleaf, let's find ourselves a golem. Another reason why this might be a particularly good thing for me is that, I mean, yes, the golem control rod could be really good to have when attempting to re-enter the city from which I was banished, but if I'm not only have the Golem control rod, but also have an actual Golem to bring back to them. They might be even more willing to let me back in. Let's do some scouting. Nope. Can't get through there. That does sound like Darkspawn.
I shall do it.
Off I go.
What? I don't know what that was. Okay, that's kind of a weird thing. I didn't think Darkspawn cared enough to, like, hang bodies, or, like, you know, carefully tie their wrists behind their backs. Seems mighty weird. Hey, there are a few Darkspawn there.
It will be done. See what
Let's see.
Right.
Why are we back here?
Now we get our hands dirty.
very well.
That one was sneaky. He was hiding behind a tree.
Yes.
Where's a key? Barrel? barrel? Death root?
Darkspawn, beware. Of course. You wanna die?
Yes.
I shall do so. You will learn to fear me.
No, sorry.
How are we going to Aha! Wipe them out.
You are for it.
Okay. I think I ran out of my fire arrows. I did. Switch to ice arrows. Alright.
Of course.
Money, money, money. A note. It sounds like there's a dog here. Hearing little panting noises. Broken chest. Gosh, I wonder what these large clear crystals are for. Dead villager? Bloodied key. That looks Gollum-like. Like what all the old stories I'd remember, definitely. This statue appears to be inert.
This is a golem, I believe. Damaged, perhaps beyond repair. There may be a way to reactivate it, though that is not necessarily wise.
On closer inspection, appears to be a golem like those few that remain in Orzammar. I know very well what those look like, but obviously damaged and corroded by inactivity. Dlifgar, activate the golem. Nothing happens. Apparently either the rod is not working or the code word is incorrect. Continue. We'll look at the birdseed. Basket's all empty. Most of the bird seems scheduled. I didn't catch all that. Grr. Okay. Wilhelm cellar. Well, let's see what's in here. I think I quit. I don't just leave at that point, because it's like, oh, hey, the our entire purpose for being here doesn't appear to be. Doesn't appear to be working, so maybe just leave, but you know. As long as we're here, investigate, see what's going on. Strange crystal cluster. Bunch of enemies? What do we got? Darkspawn! You guys gonna
It will
come?
be done.
You guys gonna come? Guys? Guys? Come on.
As you wish.
As you say.
Probably not all that much
Yeah.
point in starting out with ranged weapons because this is gonna be close quarters combat.
Where shall I strike?
I really hate how they determine whether or not your companions follow you because
It will be done.
invariably it's like, oh. Like, we're not gonna follow you.
This is a waste of time. I should stir myself for a fool such as you. As you say.
No. Search the body you're now standing on, please.
Very well.
Okay, Win? I'm not sure why you did that. Doesn't seem at all necessary. Alright, everyone stay here.
Quietly
That impaled with a branch, interesting. Ooh, Wilhelm's special brew. Don't mind if I do. I think I remember what this one is.
Of course.
That's an interesting thing to have in your basement.
By the Maker, we're saved!
Not by the Maker, by me.
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us?
I doubt anyone thought you were still alive.
I suppose I should be grateful that someone came at all, then. Thank you. But if you weren't sent by someone, why are you here? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm looking for whoever owned the statue outside.
The statue outside? Why would... Oh, I think I see. You bought the control rod, didn't you? You came here looking for shale.
You aren't going to ask if we've cleared the Darkspawn out yet?
That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance.
Killed your father? What do you mean?
My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Isles of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais, and what did he get? One day, my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake shale up, well, it's yours now.
Except Shale isn't standing in front of a tower. That's great, it murdered its master.
Look, I know you probably have more important things on your mind, but I really need your help. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you?
What? How do you know she's still alive?
I don't, it's true. I'm terrified that something's happened to her and she's lying in there, injured. I can't leave here until I know for certain. Surely you can understand that.
What killed the man who went after her?
There are defenses my father put down here to keep strangers out. I knew about the barrier, I had the key for that, but the rest of it, well, we never came down here. Ever.
I mean, that would be a dick thing to say, but I want to know how to activate that column.
How to activate it? We just used the control rod and the code phrase. Or did Mother give them the wrong one? I wouldn't be surprised. She said she never wanted to see Shale activated again. If so, I'll gladly tell you the proper phrase. Just save my little girl, I'm begging you!
I could be a dick, but I'm not going to be. Alright, I'll look for her.
You will? Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think. She has to be there.
I mean, it's kind of surprising that the Gentry allowed a mage to live free. But anyway.
It will be done.
Defenses, you say? Let's see. Lots of ordinary spiders. Sure, that'd be a great defense. Tree roots. edible herbs. Why is this stuff growing down here? There's no light. That sounds promising. Fractured stone. Lyrium dust. Dead person. Spirits. Well, I mean, I guess there was beer earlier. It makes sense to be spirits down further. And you can't tell me to get out, because this is my channel. You just have to deal with it.
Of course.
Harvest ring. Dexterity, strength, and attack. That's nice. Gosh, I wonder what all these crystals are going to be used for. We're getting a lot of them. Interesting. Seems I remember there being a little bit more combat in here.
What do you mean you've never climbed a tree? Don't cats like to be in trees?
This looks interesting.
Oh look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people.
We? Who is we?
Kitty and me, of course. You don't see anyone else here, do you? Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting.
Sure, let's leave. You can bring the cat.
I can't go. Kitty says she can't come, and I'm not leaving her. She'd be lonely.
You are so kind, Amalia. I would miss you dearly if you left.
Oh, that's normal. That's not really a cat, is it?
Of course she's a cat. She just talks, that's all.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how.
Alright, what are you really?
I am a cat, really. Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger.
stranger who finds you very interesting.
Oh. Did you hear that, Amalia? I have another admirer.
That's because you're wonderful, Kitty.
I have been bound to this chamber for decades, cut off from all contact. It has been maddening. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever.
Let you have the girl, you mean possess her?
That's such a crude way of putting it. I do not wish to harm Amalia. I merely want to see your world through her eyes. Is that so wrong?
I'll free you, and you can have the girl.
Thank you. You are very gracious. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
Oh, this is so exciting! Kitty is going to be free! I've always wanted a cat, and Kitty is so perfect and pretty.
Save just before this. Okay, good. So yeah, just in case I don't. Let's see, an idiot. Oh. I can't rotate.
I like it when Kitty sings to me.
So.
As you say. As you say. It will be done.
Father doesn't like cats, but he never met Kitty.
As you say.
No. Ooh, I'm standing over the void.
Yes.
That looks safe.
Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in this room. Isn't that awful?
As you say. It will be done.
Yes, dear, that's absolutely awful.
Kitty is my best friend.
Of course.
Let's see.
I was thinking about the sun, silly.
Hmm.
As you say. Yes. Of course. As you say.
Tell me a story.
Fire is hot.
Very well.
No.
Oh, it's a flower. Is it a daffodil? I like daffodils.
Very well.
Father doesn't like cats, but he never met Kitty. like it when Kitty sings to me.
Sure, kid.
As you say. It will be done.
Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in this room. Isn't that awful?
Thanks, kid. Shut up.
It will be done. Of course. As you say.
Hmm.
I've always
Very
wanted
well.
a cat, and Kitty is so perfect and pretty.
Of course.
Got it.
Yes. I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us.
Keep your hands off the girl, demon.
Betrayal! You will not take the girl. She is mine!
Kitty! You're scaring me! I won't let you inside me! I won't!
You want to die?
Wait a sec, we did-
I have beaten one.
We've beaten multiple. Nice. Alright, is there anything else in here? Aside from... weird locking mechanism. What? Ah! There's the combat I thought that was coming. I see I'm so able I can just move straight through an enemy. You know, usually that's a metaphor. Why do you keep deactivating that? Stop activating this, thank you. Hi.
You did it! You freed her! Thank you so much!
I'm sorry I ran away, Daddy. I was so scared.
It's all right, Butterfly. You're safe now. All the bad creatures are gone. The phrase to activate Shale is Dulan Han. If you still want that bloody thing. I wouldn't if I were you. Now we should go, and quickly. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
Awesome. Well, now I leveled up. Let's... Fortunately, there's a really quick way of getting out of here. Alright. Interesting. So, shale, is it? Ulenharn.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical.
I could ask how you know I'm not a mage, but I'm a dwarf. Hello to you too.
I stood here in this spot and watched the wretched little villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years.
And the villagers had no idea they were being watched. Creepy.
Then one wonders that you wouldn't be grateful to the one who allowed you to stretch your legs, Gollum.
Another mage, I see. Charming. I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead?
Not all of them, no.
Some got away, then. How unfortunate.
You didn't care for them, I take it?
Familiarity breeds contempt, as they say, and after 30 years as a captive audience, I was as familiar with these villagers as one could possibly be. Not that I wish their fate on them, no. But it did make for a delightful change of pace.
Did you watch the attack?
Not as much as it would think. There was running and screaming, and then days and days of watching the Darkspawn prowl around. I would never have thought there could be something less interesting than the villagers, but there it was. Well, go on then. Out with it. What is its command?
Why do you keep calling me it?
Entrenched sense of perversity. The last one who held that damnable rod used to call me Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must.
Is something wrong?
I see the control rod, yet I feel... Go on, order me to do something.
Fine, attack Alistair. Alright, walk over there.
And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is... broken?
So what now? You going on a killing rampage?
Don't be ridiculous. Well, I wouldn't mind killing the birds. Those evil birds and their foul droppings. I could crush them all. I suppose if I can't be commanded, this means I have free will, yes? It is simply, what shall I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken me for some reason, no? What did it intend to do with me?
Well, I mean... my thought is this character would have brought the Golem back to Orzammar as kind of a peace offering, being like, hey, I know you banished me at all, but I have official Grey Warden business, and you know, I'm bringing back, hey, here's a control rod, apparently doesn't work, and a Golem! Let me back in. I can think of many uses for personal Golem. I think you put down like, well, you kind of have free will, so you're kind of your own.
May I ask what sorts of things he gets up to for which I could be so potentially useful?
I am a Grey Warden in need of aid against the Blight.
It refers to the Darkspawn, the very creatures that destroyed this village. The Darkspawn are an evil that must be destroyed, it's true, though not as evil as the birds. Damnable feathered fiends. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village.
You killed your former master?
Did I? I remember that I had a former master. The mage with the furry brows who poked and prodded and barked orders. Did I kill him? I hope I did kill him. Perhaps the last order he barked was, "Gollum, stop crushing my head." Ah!
I notice you don't call him it.
Yes, I'm just funny that way.
Are you going to keep calling me it?
Yes, very likely.
And how do I know you can be trusted?
I have no idea. How does it trust anything else without a control rod?
Good point.
They haven't killed it yet. I consider this a good sign.
You're welcome to come with me.
Are you certain you want to bring that thing with us? It could be dangerous and large.
Based on the construction of that utterance, it sounds like you're saying it could be large. I think we can tell that it is. Thanks for stating the completely obvious. It could be. It was a portable battering ram. I mean, more so than you are.
Good point. Better it than me, anyhow.
I will follow it about then. For now. I am called Shale, by the way.
I am Duran. Pleased to meet you. Or is that your name or what you're made of?
It would rather I was called Flint. Pebbles. How about rubble?
Or detritus?
Horsefoot.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Alright, time to spend a minute looking with some stuff. Okay, and so, just to know this shale, the crystals can be equipped into shale. For various effects. Olaf's chest. Let's see if we can open it. Can. Prized cheese knife. Yay. I feel like before we left a place like this, we might take all the bodies and burn them. Alright. Ready to camp. Okay, time to talk to people. Hey, Jory. Watchtenant Jory.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Ah? Zevran.
Here I am.
Can you teach others to be assassins?
Oh, I certainly could, but I won't. I swore to the crows that the things they taught me were to remain a secret. And while, yes, they are already angry at me, I'd rather not push things, you see.
Very well, I'll respect your word.
If you are truly insistent, well, let me think about it. The crows are already angry at me, yes? Who knows?
Win, hello.
What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
How did they know you were a mage?
I set a boy on fire.
I'm sure that's a fascinating... I bet he deserved it too.
Oh, yes, he did. He was the eldest son of the woman who took me in. I don't think he ever liked me. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Serves him right.
He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn, with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
Were the Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets, and even sat me on his shoulders once, when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
That is... a thing I know. Part of the architecture of the various older buildings is intended to be impressive. Like, cathedrals are intended to be impressive. Castles, palaces, like ancient palaces are also supposed to be intimidating as well. So, yeah. That's a great story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
Danger from what? I really wouldn't understand this.
From Fade spirits. If we were careless, they would enter our minds, and we would become abominations. Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
There's nothing else I want to discuss right now. And there's kind of questions like where you practice some spells, because like, I mean, fireball, okay, so you do what? Cast it at probably someplace that doesn't, an area that doesn't have any flammable stuff.
Such
So
a
it's like,
force has not been seen since the collapse of the Tevinter Imperium.
stone room or something like that, or perhaps up into the air. Here, but things like the earthquake spell. Okay, where do you cast that?
Something I can help with?
Can you teach me to be a bard? I already am.
That's an idea. I've watched you, and I do think you'd find some of my skills quite easy to pick up. Let's just go over there, away from the others, for safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
Unlock bard specialization. Let's see. I'm already a bard and a duelist. Alistair, do you have anything to say?
I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask?
Not at all.
Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow?
You do realize he's like 3 paces from us? Maybe, we'll see.
That's a lot to put on a maybe, isn't it? He's an assassin. The crows aren't known for giving up. Maybe he's just biding his time.
I'm willing to give him a chance.
Well, if you are, then maybe I should too. But that doesn't mean I won't keep an eye on him. He's just too shifty. What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big.
He's dedicated, I'll give him that.
Yet he doesn't seem quite so bad as the Chantry tells us. According to them, his philosophy is vile and evil. Yet he seems so reasonable. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you?
How many people have we killed, Alistair? We're all killers, Alistair.
I don't know if I like the sound of that. But I guess I take your meaning. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision?
It could be true. Who's to say that it isn't?
Maybe you're right. It's not as if she could have known that we needed help so desperately after all. Yet, there she was. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life.
It was her choice.
Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said.
What reason could she have to betray us?
Hello? Have you met her? I think she'd need a reason not to betray us.
Alistair, you should be aware of the fact that I've done more than meet her. I think we're useful to her.
Well, there is that. Just tell me one thing. Is it true what the others say? Do you have a thing going with Morrigan? Tell me it's not true.
I think you would know for certain that. Why, are you jealous?
Oh, someone's a little touchy, eh? Attacking my manhood and everything. That must mean it's true. Well, fine. It's your funeral. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
What? No questions about Wynne or Jory? Sten, hello. Do you have anything more to say?
Yes,
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Actually, never mind.
Very well.
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
That's enough for now.
Then I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Good luck. Alright. Hi, Morgan. I'd like to discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Kiss her.
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Do you object?
Not unless you stop.
Smooches. Hello, Shale. I'm going to test something quick. Shale, alright. Yes! Hang on. What? Clear for stone. Oh, this one. Perfect, okay. Alright. Dr. Shale.
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
No, they're quite slimming.
It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
talk some more with Shale.
Oh.
What's with the heavy sighs?
Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy.
Glad you know you care, at least.
It's true. One single tear, and then it's off to the north, I think. Or maybe west. I haven't decided. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert.
Ah, alright. Yeah, talk to him one more time.
Oh.
You are still with me, I see.
Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
Stay. You're quite useful.
No doubt.
Helpful.
Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
Alright, and I think that's where I will call it for this one. And thanks for watching, do any relevant things with YouTube's buttons, and have a nice day.